everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah Catherine, this is Leah Sees Movies, and we are back with the next episode of Young Justice. So the last episode was not one of my favorites. I was kind of meh about it, but we did find out how Nabu became Dr. Fate. We had our 3 disciples of Zatara tested, forced to overcome the feelings, the fears, the doubt that has been holding them back and, you know, preventing them from reaching their magical aptitude or whatever. Also, oh yeah, the child snapped Tico's neck, which was crazy. And all those people on the bus have been trapped there in like an endless portal of torment or something for a while, and I'm assuming we're gonna circle back to them at some point, but at this point I just kind of feel bad. Every episode they've just been flying through the background and screaming. So, I don't know. I am now very interested in the bus thing, though. So, they've successfully built anticipation for whatever that reveal is going to be. But yeah, so Clarion's tie anchor to the mortal plane has been severed. He's presumably been sent back to face all the other Chaos Emeralds and, I don't know, face punishment. I don't really know if they can die or if they're retired, like the good place, or what exactly that means for him. Probably nothing good. And also the child remains on Earth to do malicious things and probably, you know, destroy it just to prove a point. So now Dr. Fate is going to have to help, I think, now that it's no longer Chaos v. Chaos and Chaos v. destroying the planet. And we're gonna possibly see whoever Etrigan and the Stranger want to recruit for help as well. So I'm hoping this one's a bit more action heavy. I hope it engages me a little bit more than the previous episode did, but I'm going to keep this brief. Let's get started.
I was young, just 28, on the road.
Zatara backstory.
My audiences were always dazzled. But one night, something went wrong. A curtain caught fire. The fire spread.
Okay, well, if you had real magic there, you didn't...
I used my magic to put out the flames. Presto! The audience...
Yeah, that's probably the easiest place to get away with real magic.
It was a new beginning.
So whoever trains Zatara and recognized his spark of legitimate talent, I assume? Presumably they're gonna kill him, right? Like, he's gonna die, and he's no longer gonna be, like, able to be a host anymore. So this is why we're getting a backstory of who he was, and now it's gonna be sad because he's dying. I don't know if I just re-see Tico die. Conquer and for something.
Forgot. Diamond Guy killed Tico,
causing Clarion to return to his true form as a Chaos Lord.
With that lovely bit of nastiness out of the way.
Lovely bit of nastiness.
Let's start with this eyesore.
Also, again, with the whole, like, I'm Dr. Fate, and this doesn't, like, this doesn't involve me, this doesn't whatever to me. Like, you think a Chaos Lord is just gonna let you be? Dang. I would not have assumed it's that easy to destroy the tower. Okay, well, whatever it's doing is definitely having some, like, psychic or metaphysical impacts on Dr. Fate, because he was no help.
Chaos.
Oh, now you want to get up? I'm saying, like, Dr. Fate's not really that guy. Like, he acts like he is, but I'm not super impressed with Nabu.
Sure.
I like how she already blew up the entire place, and now she's just, it's like, oh, is that clock mostly visible as a clock? No. Is she just stopping their magic?
I simply cannot understand how Clarion allowed such pathetic creatures to thwart Chaos's will. Time to unleash the chaos.
Creepy little girl, man. Always gets the job done.
I got him.
Okay.
She's like, I got him, and they're like, yeah, you just sucked our magic out. We're cool on you right now.
We interrupt this program for an important announcement.
16, scene 16, take 16.
They're going to shove these Beast Boy cuts into our face, down our throats, again and again, no matter how much. I don't care.
This is supposed to be.
Also, I truly did not believe that he was still acting.
Morning with everyone on overtime. It's almost life and death for me. So can you please just give it
I guess
more.
I thought after the whole Granny Goodness thing and her running the studio, I thought the show was done. I thought he was just working off residuals.
Take 17. Action.
Line.
But it really is just like, oh look, Beast Boy's doing a thing. Let's go back to the main action.
But I need a hero.
Oh gosh, another school bus. 10 years ago? Have they been rolling through space-time for 10 years?
Only nice big smiles.
Oh, wait, have we seen this? We did. We saw this bus accident. I think we did. Yeah, we did. We totally did.
I had that. I didn't want to take the chance. As it is, your landing could have destabilized the entire bridge. It didn't, but it could have. We don't. Sorry. Superboy. Duty calls.
Back when he was like, don't look at me, you freak me out. Which was still pretty funny. Out of character, but funny.
I need an anchor to this mortal plane. This motorcycle will do.
Motorcycle?
Get over your dumb skateboard, mortal.
Well, it's a bus.
Boss, you knew I meant...
He gets banished 10 years in the future, moves everything around, and just kidnaps a bus full of children. See? That's fun. I could have been 3 episodes on that bus. I meant, like, just as a concept, so fun.
Superman. I had, of course, heard of the Man of Steel, but I had not yet seen him through my daughter's eyes. But behind his heroic acts, I saw an alien from another world. An immigrant like me, fighting to keep his adopted planet safe.
Yeah, sure.
I prayed for guidance until I knew what
would Jesus do? The religion is so random.
Between performances and family time, I used my gifts to protect and serve society. Still,
Okay, I'm curious. I feel like that old guy we saw is definitely gonna be a teacher. Yeah.
like magic.
Oh wait, is that the other Dr. Fate? What's his name? The other Connor Kent, right? Or William Kent? I forgot what he looked like, but I think it's the other Kent.
Now do you believe that child is a threat?
We do.
Now that it's personally impacted me, I guess.
Stealing our power without asking?
There wasn't time to ask. I was the only one conscious to even try to stop her from doing it again in...
I guess, but please, do not do that again without asking first.
Again, their priorities. It's like, oh, I was just beaten up. Let me fix my outfit, though.
Can you call on the Lords of Order? Ask for a power boost?
That is not their way. Nor will it be necessary.
I don't really understand how the Lords of Order maintain order. They seem like they really slack on the job.
Last season, it was all that prima donna crap. Feuding with the not-to-be-missed granny, outsiders missions, making you late, etc., etc. But at least you were sharp. This year, I can't even get you to focus. Okay? Look, I know your buddy, Superboy. Passed. Do you need some help?
Oh, wow. You think maybe that's it? A close friend passed. He's clearly depressed, and you're like, perhaps a connection?
Maybe you need a rest, you know, some downtime, huh?
Yeah, right. I thought everyone's jobs depended on me.
Harvey's Lieutenant Chow character has become a real fan favorite. See, in the suits, think he can carry the load?
Yeah, just kill him off in Star Trek. We'll bring him back in like a season.
Think about it. We love you, kid. Just want what's best for the show. And you, of course.
I mean, they don't really care what's best for you. They care what's best for the show, but like, you're doing a terrible job.
But between my public stage career and my secret life as a hero, I spent less and less time at
All the
home
magic users always look so cool.
and came to believe my absence from my family was a necessary sacrifice for the greater good. It was not an enemy that undid me.
It was cancer.
It was cancer. But still, I had to perform to pay medical bills, had to fight to protect the world.
The Justice League don't have insurance?
In some damn city. There came another knock.
Same
on
thing
the
with
door.
Sam Wilson and Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's like, oh, we're struggling to pay the bills. It's like, damn. It's been a whole adventure since Age of Ultron, but... or Age of Ultron after credits. Can't pay off the boat. Ooh! They should bring back the volcano tornado guy. I loved him.
Child has come and gone. We must go.
But we have to help the people here.
We have to save the world.
Fate is correct. I have summoned the League, the Outsiders, and every mystic champion I could recruit. But our efforts will be for naught.
If we don't stop
Unless
her.
all of you stop Child herself.
Okay, but all those mystic heroes you just mentioned, where are they at? This team is not the Fast and Furious. Oh! Oh my gosh! We did see that bus before! I'm like really trying to remember. I'm like, has it been the same bus this whole time? Like,
They can't help either.
did they plan this for like 5 years?
Child's reversed gravity.
See, now that's chaos. Oh, look, a magic guy.
Is that the wizard? Oh, I can't believe he's helping.
Come. We must find Child.
I'm so stuck on this bus thing. Like, has this been happening the whole time? Like, am I just... Because I feel like I remember this bus actually being in all these scenes. So I'm like, did they plan a 5-year... like, we're gonna add a bus to thing? I just assumed they did a bus because saving a bus full of kids is the easiest way to show that they're heroes.
I have to go through this twice? Dang it! Whose idea was it to split the Earth in two?
See, Child knows how to party.
Child is gone.
Okay, so they did get off the bus?
Finally, we're safe.
Dang it! I keep seeing the same heroes.
I'm confused. They said or was it only some of the kids got off the bus? That sucks. I mean, I guess maybe the driver wouldn't get off until the kids were safe.
There are no other heroes here yet.
Dang it!
That means we are getting closer.
Dang it! Dang it! Dang it!
But we're the only ones here. We have to stop and help.
I'm curious what heroes Clarion's looking for.
Dang it! That was them!
Oh, okay.
That's who I need! No, but not this soon!
Well, you did offer everyone a escape hatch. You know, in the grand scheme of things, you did say that you wanted Earth to advance when humanity's put under pressure. This is pressure.
I joined the Justice League. While I still battled mystic threats, I no longer faced them alone.
Do you have health insurance now?
And when I did travel, I brought Zatara with me.
Seriously, does he need a day job?
My little girl overreached. And in that moment, my compass ceased to spin. I knew exactly what I must do.
No, please. This was my fault. Dad, don't. Dad.
I don't give them enough credit for how they animate the main character's aging, because I'm like, oh, Zatanna looks like a baby.
Giving her no more than 1 hour of my time and attention every year. Sacrificed myself to save my daughter. Dio.
We interrupt this program for an important announcement.
Captain, we are surrounded. Shields are failing. We must surrender.
Cut! Print!
Okay, but don't they still need to write out his character, at least temporarily? Like, we have to fight, and then he gets killed, and then the other guy takes over. It's gonna be a really jarring episode of Star Trek when someone else just becomes the lead.
You can't kill me.
Your mayhem on this world ends now.
For you,
A fate worse than death.
I feel like Zatara's body is just gonna give out. Like, there's no reason they're giving us all this backstory.
Ooh, pretty.
What is her anchor made out of? That thing is sturdy.
You can't kill me. But I can kill every living thing on this world.
They are not just for this weather. Why are you saying dang it? Well, I mean...
No, wait. This is it. I found him.
Does the helmet not protect him from freezer burn? Or is it just that's a wrap for him?
both know my body cannot last forever. But you and the helmet will endure. I tell you these things so that when the time comes, you may tell my daughter.
Yeah, I'm like, I wouldn't trust him to deliver a heartfelt message.
We will honor your wishes, if that becomes necessary.
And it will almost certainly take all that remains of my vim vitae, my life force, for Dr. Fate to survive, let alone triumph.
Oh, look, we have, okay, so it's Nightwing, Superman, Aqua's boyfriend, and Black Lightning. Oh, wait, no. Oh, wait. Ah, see, one that actually matters in it. Hold on, I'm gonna...
If we make it out of this, we can't rely on another villain like Wizard to come through for us.
Oh, okay, it is a villain.
Jeff, I think we have to start thinking about organizing a true Justice League reserves system.
I mean, isn't every street hero kind of a reserve system, or is it just like giving them a walkie-talkie? Because I feel like there's a bunch of street level heroes that aren't affiliated with the Justice League, but like if there's a giant lava tornado in my home, I'm gonna go out and help, hopefully. And then presumably, yeah, like with villains, if there's a giant lava tornado in your neighborhood, that might impede some of your villainous plans, so come help. Okay, so I like that a lot more than the last episode. I was way more engaged. I still think they're gonna kill Zatara. I mean, they kind of flat out said it. It's gonna take all of my vim vitae to protect my daughter for us to survive this. So, you know, they kind of put it out there. They foreshadowed it fairly heavily. So if he doesn't die, I'll be a smidge disappointed. But I actually was so sad. Like, that's the difference. Even for a fairly minor character, in this case, because of his relation to a character I do care about, when he monologues about how he feels like he's abandoned his daughter, like seeing that pain again through Zatanna's eyes, through Zatara's eyes, I was still like, oh my god. Like, it's like seeing, oh my god, they only get that 1 hour a year together. Like, that's just so much more impactful than it is with a lot of these newer characters, that it's like, do you feel a lot for them? And I'm like, I'm a slow burn, okay? It takes me a second to get attached. I mean, not always. Sometimes I have an immediate preference, but we already have a very large cast. So if you already have a cast of like 52 characters, it takes a while to be like, yes, now I really like this new character. And again, another comparison that I make all the time, and I'm so sorry. My Hero Academia! What it excels at! So many characters that they introduce you to, and I'm like, okay, I already have to load all of Class 1A, Class 1B, and then they're like, oh, this is Mirio, and you're like, who's Mirio? I already care about a lot of people. I don't have the emotional space to care about a new person, and then they're like, 6 episodes later, I'm like, I would defend Mirio with my life. And that is a skill I just don't think the show has ever truly had for me. Aside from the, like, main team, everyone else kind of feels like they've flitted in and out. And even then with the main team, there's a very strict hierarchy. I wouldn't say that with like Class 1A. But either way, I just enjoyed this. I really liked the bus thing. Like, this genuine head scratcher. I'm just sitting here like, oh my gosh. Has there been a bus in all of these scenes? Like, this was the same bus? And also, it's just comedically very funny that Clarion is literally going through space and time trying to find these heroes to ask for help. Obviously, it's not funny, but it's literally just a bus full of children screaming through space-time. Also kind of funny. Just so impressive on a technical level, the amount of like foresight they would have to have, or even not technically foresight, if it was just like, okay, we have a scene of a bus falling off a bridge, like any superhero thing ever, and then going, you know what, let's throw some more buses in there, because it could have truly been nothing. It could have never paid off, and it wouldn't have thought twice about it, because again, there's always a bus full of children in danger. That's how superhero media works. And yet it did pay off. It literally built to something, and that's so impressive. Like, I'm kind of slagging the writing off in some ways, but in this, all of the credit. That was super cool. I'm really into that. Well done. As I said before, I like consequences, so I like that the child is wreaking havoc. Like, this is not something that is resolved in one episode. We literally spent this entire episode just facing consequences. It's like, oh, you don't want to help Fate? You don't think that the Lords of Order need to intervene here because it's chaos v chaos and that's not your problem? Bet. Look around. She destroyed your towel. She destroyed your towel. She destroyed your tower. She's destroying the planet. There's lava tornadoes everywhere. We're having to call in heroes, villains, anyone who can walk, fly, or jump to come in and help. And guess what? She's still beating your ass. Your helmet cracked. I like that. Consequences. Not solved in one episode. We're going into part 5 now, where we may see the death of Dr. Fate, like, not the death of Dr. Fate, but the death of his host, at least, which means Fate may be back in a closet for a while, because I can't really picture anyone who would be currently willing to host Fate. There's not a lot of upsides. You're basically imprisoned in your own body. You'll never see your loved ones again. And also, he's a dick. It's like the worst roommate of all time, so I feel like they're just gonna shove him in a closet. But, of course, if we have to fight the entirety of the Chaos Emeralds, you can't keep him in a closet because he's the only real counter for chaotic energy, which is deeply upsetting. So then there's a lot of potential for new drama. Who is going to be the new host? If we need a Dr. Fate, who's going to host him? Do I think we need a Dr. Fate? Not really. He kind of sucks. But maybe that's because his host is a little up there, a little elderly, a little wizened, which is funny because it sounds like wizard. Maybe if he gets a newer, younger model, he'll be better. Maybe. Yeah, this episode was fun. It's had like a lot of things I liked. Actual emotional, like, heft, chaos, things blowing up, fire tornadoes, comedy, drama, lots of screaming, Clarion's really weird sense of humor. It was a good time. Etrigan and Strange did not do too much, I'm gonna be honest. I was like hoping in the last episode that they were more productive and they found someone who was really gonna help, and it's like, oh, we called the Justice League. It's like, okay, Zatanna could have done that. One of the Lemmings could have done that. They all have cell phones. Like, I guess Wizard, who's a villain, so I guess that's the only thing that they went a little, you know, what's it called? They went to the dark side for some assistance, but we called the Justice League. We all could have done that. And he's like, oh, I got every mystically aligned person, which is just the seer from New Orleans, whose name I'm totally spacing on right now, and Wizard. Not a good show. Not a good recruitment strategy. They need more help. I do think the idea that Superman brought up of having a Justice League Reserves is interesting, but again, I feel like everyone is kind of already in the reserves. Like, it does feel like that segue into a Justice League Unlimited situation from the original JLU series, well, the original Justice League series, which was like 8 of them, to JLU, there was like hundreds. But even then, they weren't really reserves. They were all Justice League. So is it just expanding the Justice League? I'm always curious about like the legality, because we spent so much of the show in like season 2, 3. My passage of time is shaky, but of like, you know, the heroes need permission to act. The League needs permission to act. So if we're assuming in this world, like all other superhero worlds, there's tons of street level heroes who are acting as vigilantes. Is it like, oh, we need a Justice League Reserves, so we're gonna work with these vigilantes and kind of play dumb like they do with the Outsiders, although with the Outsiders there was never ever ever any consequences for their actions, which is partially why the story arc annoyed me so much. But if there's like a bunch of street level heroes anyway, can't we just, you know, rely on them to pitch in when it's like the world's about to explode situation? And would recruiting them actually then put them under the same rules, regulations, and limitations of the Justice League? So I'm not entirely sure that works. I feel like I'm always a little iffy on the actual politics of this world and by what rules they decide to play, because the Outsiders things never really quite sat quite right with me. It never really added up, but c'est la vie, that we're done. They exist and people like them, I guess. So if we're assuming there are other people playing by the same rules, then I'm not sure if it's what the reserve thing would do and how that would be different than just like expanding the Justice League to like 1 million members, like a JLU situation. All right, well, I think that is it for me for this episode. I will gird myself for the death of Zatara next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment, etc. All of those good things that make me very, very happy. If you don't want to do any of that, but you've watched all the way to the end of this video, thank you. I still really, really appreciate you. You can follow me on Twitter at LeahSeesMovies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!